When we talk about age as a factor in retirement, first you want to identify where you fit in. If you're a Generation Z, what they call now, you're in your 20s. Generation Y, you're age 30 or more. Generation X or Gen X, you're in your 40s. And baby boomers right now are in the 50s, 60s, and probably 70s range. So what does that mean? So if you're the youngest of this group, you're Generation Z, and your saving and investing style is quite different than the others. You're in your 20s or 30s. You have an aggressive investment style where you can tolerate high risk and potentially higher returns because you have a longer time horizon. This is the early accumulation phase, so your risk return profile could have an aggressive investment style, could tolerate higher risks, and that will potentially mean higher returns. So when you look at the pie chart, the largest chunk on there are stocks. Now if you're a Generation Y, you are a massive group, impressive group of 72 million people. You're in your early teens and to mid-40s. It's a really big group. You're also called millennials, and that describes a generation with birth dates ranging somewhere from the latter 1970s or the early 1980s to the early 2000s. You have a long time horizon to invest. You have a high to moderate risk-reward ratio, more stocks than bonds or cash. And this would be considered a building wealth phase. You can have an aggressive to moderate investment style, a high to moderate risk, and you're looking for moderate to high returns. And as a Generation X individual, you may be thinking about making adjustments in your 40s or 50s to a moderate risk-return ratio. Consider moving towards a conservative ratio as you approach pre-retirement in your 60s, and it would be wise to develop a stable, low-risk, low-return portfolio for your 70s and beyond. So while you're in this 40s to 50s range, you want to be maintaining wealth. You'll tolerate moderate investment style, moderate risks, and moderate returns, and the pie chart shifts slightly. And if you're a baby boomer, that's a group 76 million strong. You're in your 50s to mid-60s. You were born from 1946 up to 1964. It was a time marked by an increased birth rate. You have a super short time horizon before you retire. So you want a lower risk-reward ratio. You want to be generating income in your portfolio. So they're going to be a maximum of bonds and cash and a minimum of stocks. If you're a baby boomer, you're in a stay disciplined phase, moderate to conservative investment style, taking moderate to low risks, and accepting moderate to low returns. If you're in your 60s or 70s or 80s, this should be a very conservative retirement phase where you are conservative to stable in your investment style. You're looking at taking very little risk, and you're willing to substitute that and take lower returns. And that is how age is a factor.